Good morning, everyone. I'm so sorry for the delay, but not really that sorry because it wasn't my fault. We are running about 10 minutes late, but I will make it up to you because this is about to be a 3-hour fucking show right here because my co-host is someone I've been waiting to get back in the Golden Throne, and he is finally here. It is Brian Kelly, the Points Guy.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
It's so good to have you back. Like, we have so much to talk about. Like, I can't even waste time right now, like, not talking about what we need to be talking about. So, Brian Kelly, if you guys don't know him, get your head out of your ass. He is the founder, creator, owner, operator of thepointsguy.com. You are the Points Guy, but now you just go by Brian, right?
My mom calls me TPG.
So do I.
Yeah.
Me and your mom?
You'd love my mom.
Would
She's
I?
amazing, yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe we have the same nickname. Now I feel like I shouldn't call it. Like it's reserved for your mother.
No, you
Whatever.
can use
But TPG is also like friend of Gwunj and what most people don't know about you, which is why I'm most excited to have you here, is like you're just so dynamic. Yes, you're this businessman flying all around the world to your important conferences, but you're also like a big Housewives fan.
Huge.
You are a friend of Bethany, which
Housewives historian is what I call myself.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Friend of Bethany, which is just the highest honor one could reach. And just all around fun, loving gay, which is like, I just think you need more time. We need to get to know Brian more so than we need to get to know TPG, you know?
I'm
but,
here.
Oh my God, we opened up for questions for you. We got literally some of the most specific questions. I took most of them. Some of them were like, how do I refine it? Like just a little too specific. But do people just come up to you and they're like, hey, you know, I have this credit card. Like, do they just like throw their problems at you?
It's funny. In real life, people, they don't ask me questions. They want to say, well, I used my points and I did this. And people, I think, are just so
They're proud,
excited.
yeah.
And I'm proud. And it makes it easier for me. Mm-hmm. Especially when I'm hungover, all I have to do is listen.
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's
oh my
the
God,
best.
I love that one. But yeah, via DM, we get so many questions. And so, yeah, I was actually on my delayed car ride here, like brushing up on information because
right,
I saw some of them come in.
Oh my God, they're insane. And also, you're so tall that we had to move up our sign, so that caused a further delay. Just, you know, unexpected, but that's live television, people. You never know what to expect. Before we jump in to the news that you need to know today, and we're gonna get all of Brian's questions answered, we have to talk about our Monday night because TPG bestowed the honor upon me of giving his extra ticket to the VMAs to me. And I just want to say, I feel like we really maximized our experience. Like, we went in the mindset. And by the way, we started our night off, you guys have to know, at, what was the restaurant called?
It's Salt Bay's restaurant.
Yeah, what's it called?
et al. Something
Whatever.
or other. Yeah.
It is the Salt Bay, the guy, his restaurant in New York, very rich, like looking.
But it's one big Instagram thirst trap. And you know, like we don't Instagram unless we're paid.
Of course.
So, but there were so many times where I was going, like I wanted like the
was so funny.
The black ice, like randomly they would pour black ice into a
face,
container
into your
and then it would
face.
just cool over the bar.
The whole bar. It honestly felt really good.
Everyone, they had like a step and repeat.
Yes, there was
with
like
him,
a 10-foot mural of
and
him.
everyone was doing his pose.
And there was hashtags like written on the windows. It was so thirsty, but the food was good.
It was delicious.
And good service.
But just watch out for the tipping situation.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Okay, so homegirl gave me the bill, and I was like signing it, and she was like, "Oh, by the way,"
she actually paid for
because he always pays and he never lets me pay, and he just was bringing me. He was bringing me to the VMAs. Like I had to, you know, do
That's
something.
true. I let you pay.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And so the lady, like
I paid for drinks at the VMAs.
Oh, yes, you did. Okay, they were free. So literally, as just a throwaway, she was like, "Oh, by the way, there's 18% tip included." I'm like, "What?"
As she's signing the tip.
I had already written, and it was expensive, and I doubled the tip.
It was a very Miami moment.
It was just like, what? That's like not a thing here, or like ever, unless you're like on vacation. And she just said it like as a throwaway comment. I'm like, well, thank you for telling me. Like, she could have not told me, and like she would have, you know.
I'm sure you still tipped her, right?
Are you supposed to?
No, I'm kidding.
No, oh my God.
Of course not.
Stop, don't give me a pit about tipping. Everyone is always giving me a pit. I never know, it's so hard in different
states. I
states.
just had breakfast this morning at Gramercy Park Tavern. They have, because I'm really successful. I do breakfast at places.
I was going to say,
I used to do Perkins,
so you were
but
up
now,
for a breakfast, but you couldn't make it on time?
And actually, that's where we had dinner the other night. And
oh, yeah.
Tipping's included. I think tipping should be included everywhere.
But if you're in a hotel,
nice.
well, you know what? Then I feel
but
like.
then they don't actually get it.
Right.
Well,
no,
but they do. But then you feel like they don't. I still feel I'm a big tipper. Like I love to tip.
Me too, and I really want to reward someone who like goes out of their way to be like kind. And I just feel like if it's automatically assumed, everyone's gonna get the same like like moderate level of service.
Kind of like in Europe, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Europe, you know. What are your thoughts on Europe? I'm not a fan.
I'm going to Munich on Sunday. I love Europe.
You do?
Yeah.
First of all, we couldn't be more different.
Europe is very diverse, first of all.
Is it?
It's a continent, not a country.
I knew that.
Yeah. No, I totally live in London.
Is that the only place you think you would live outside of New York?
I could, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'd never really want to live one place. I like
you
mixing
don't.
it up. Yeah.
You don't. Do you ever get like tired from traveling?
Exhausted.
Like I hate traveling. Like
But
every
it's
time,
like it's addictive. Like
not for me.
yeah.
It has the anti-effect. Like I get off a
Because
plane,
you
I'm
want to
like,
fly in
I
lie flat
never.
beds between here and Nashville.
Every time I go on a plane, I text TBG. I'm like, this is my itinerary. How do I get on a lay flat first class bed for $5? And he's like, you can, which is very sad.
Claudia's like, I'm taking Amtrak to Boston. Which one has the lie flat bed? They don't. Actually, some Amtrak's do it.
Okay, wait, VMAs. So we went to the restaurant, and I really enjoyed it. I have to say, I want to give it a 2 thumbs up. And then we walked over to the Radio City, which was, I was surprised that it was there, because it's like kind of a small venue.
Small venue, yeah.
But I still feel like when we walked in, I was really surprised at how like the just traditional like theater stage really like was elevated to an award show.
I've never seen that pit like that before.
Yeah, and they had like that thing go up and down every time a performer started.
Yep.
And I feel like we really just threw ourselves into it. We didn't take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And we happened to be seated right next to the exit where
They were kick-ass seats.
They were
for
kick-ass
our purposes,
seats.
being media
being
icons.
Thirsty, being thirsty Instagram
We got
wars.
the inside scoop. Yeah.
We were standing by this door that people, celebrities were going in and out of backstage. Like every time they would sit, like when they were up for an award, they would go sit in front. But then, like when they didn't want to like see like Travis Scott perform, they would go backstage. So we were right by that door. So Cardi B.
No, most people went back and forth, but who stayed there the whole time to be noticed?
Captain Sandy.
The other one, the male.
Wow.
Nope, the other one. A-Rod.
Oh yes, A-Rod was being thirst monster. And you know what I liked about the VMAs actually is like everyone in the audience, like at the Grammys, they're so crazy with the seating. Like if someone gets up, a million people have to rush to fill the seat, and like if they pan over the crowd, there can't be anyone standing down. It was a zoo.
Okay.
Like everyone was standing, taking pictures, being
We
thirsty.
changed seats 4 times.
That was the
So
best part.
I get social anxiety in like crowded situations.
'Cause you're
I'm
tall?
6'7", so at a concert, like it's not.
You're 6'7".
I'm 6'7" without heels. I'm like, if I did drag and I'm over 7 feet tall.
Wow, you must be popular.
Yeah. My mom's like, you are an ugly me. But no, so who's your friend, the makeup artist, Snooki's makeup artist?
Oh, Joey.
Joey, thank you for upgrading our seats. I got upgraded at the VMAs.
Yes, we did for
Complimenting,
free.
yes.
So he texted me, he was like looking for us, and he was sitting with Snooki, and you know Jersey Shore is making a big comeback, so they were really prestigious.
Yep.
And when Snooki and JWoww left pretty early, so like we took their seats, and by the way, it was the most amazing seats.
No, Claudia's a good friend because so I got anxiety. I was like, well, they're not my seats. I'm tall. Even sitting down, I block people's views.
Yeah.
And Vinny was behind us, cutest guy ever.
So cute.
I'm still thinking
We're
about
obsessed
Vinny.
with him.
So I actually went back to our seats like a little boy as Claudia's in there. It's right. Someone's about to perform. Claudia is such a good friend. She actually doesn't sit down and it's like Brian's being stupid. She comes back and starts calling me as a performer's on stage. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I just got to do it. So I ran up.
And by the way, how worth it was it?
It was so worth it.
Oh my God. And by the way, so just an interesting logistical fact is that Snooki and JWoww were sitting in a row in front of the entire cast. Like the entire cast was behind them, which I just thought was weird. And then when we took their seats, I'm sure they were like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Whatever. It was so premium and it was so epic.
Very premium.
I had a great time. Is that your first like award show?
Well, no.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know you went to the Grammys.
No, Grammys, Emmys, not the Oscars. I love music. That's my thing.
Me too.
So, but VMAs, like I'm going every year.
No, me too.
If
It was
we're
a
invited
party.
back. If we're invited back.
I think we'll be invited
Yeah,
back. We
I think so.
contributed to
Yeah,
the
I think
overall
so.
zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Captain Sandy.
Although we had the worst picture together.
Oh my God. We asked someone to take a picture for us. It's hard going with only 2 people.
Yeah. And it's hard both being really big celebrities. You know what I mean? We don't want to be seen asking to have
Honestly,
photos taken of us.
I have to say
by
something.
us.
I have to embarrass you for a second. I literally have never seen so many people come up to a person in my life who's not like a traditional celebrity. And like, I feel like I will go certain places and be relatively recognizable. Like you, maybe it's because you're so tall, but like everyone sees you and everyone knows you and everyone has like the utmost respect for you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't do that much video I guess on Instagram and stuff, but I don't have that many Instagram followers.
Right, but
I
your
was at a
face-
restaurant in Chelsea, and this woman came up. She's like, "I hear your voice," and I was like recognized by my voice, and I
That's
was like,
weird.
Yeah.
See, I was so impressed.
I think she was hitting on me.
I
A
think
lot of
so,
people
too.
hit on me. Toasters, I love when you hit
I
on me.
was just gonna
Slide
ask-
into my DMs. I'm gay AF, but
you don't give off a very gay AF vibe. And when I
but
first met you, I didn't know
this
you were
is who
gay.
I am. I'm not trying to not be
I mean,
gay.
in the blazer,
Hello.
in the blazer.
Hello. I should wear-
Honestly, the blazer's fixing a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we went to the Ariana Grande concert, sponsored by American Express. Just another interesting logistical fact: the security was like annoying, like, and I understand why, but like it was kind of annoying.
yeah.
They maybe check my little clutch, like whatever.
Well, this happened at the Taylor Swift concert too.
Did it?
They are crazy about Well,
But that's in a stadium.
I guess I know, but yeah.
And that's all stadiums. You have to wear a clear bag or a tiny bag.
Really? Oh,
it was at Irving Plaza. Like, it's kind of a small venue. I was just shocked at like the
well,
level of security.
they said they were going to take our phones, but they didn't end up doing that.
And then Ariana tweeted yesterday that she's not taking any phones at her Amex shows. I guess they first did take people's phones and then were giving them back. So I think she wanted to clear the air.
Yeah.
But the concert was amazing.
Yeah, I love Ariana Grande.
And what we missed, because we got there like 5 minutes early because we went home and changed our shoes, but Pete Davidson introduced her. We missed that, which I really would have like wanted to say, but whatever. And we were just like living in the back, like everyone there was like her #1 fan. It was for like her real hardcore fans, and they were like all the way up at the front. We were like in the back
but
by
they
the
didn't
bar.
overcrowd it, so we had our own little space.
By the bar, obviously.
So I surprise Claudia. I like surprises, so I was like,
do.
oh, there's a fun guest. Oh, no, I didn't even tell you it was a guest. I was like, there's another fun surprise, and you're like, oh my god, VMAs too much, Ariana
It was too much.
So we go, and I'm also friends with Phaedra Parks, and so I introduced Claudia, and she's like,
I was legitimately.
I looked at my text the next morning, and I had texted her, quit being a shy dumbnass.
I was being.
I was like, this is Phaedra. I delivered Phaedra to you.
I know, and honestly,
Claudia's like,
I just like couldn't speak. I don't know why. Like,
I've never.
I just love her.
Shocked.
I know, and like honestly,
She's so amazing.
She's so amazing, and like and gorgeous, and like I just couldn't
She's so
speak.
fun.
So fun, so epic, and honestly like a legend in her own right.
Yeah.
So I was nervous, and like I really don't get nervous. I'm like a big bull Vaughn, like nothing really scares me. But like Phaedra Parks scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. Oh, some of my friends who are friends with her haven't seen Housewives of Atlanta, so we were like a couple weekends ago. I was like, as a Housewives historian, I was actually like choosing the epic episodes of Phaedra. I mean, she was such a rock of that
when
show.
When she pulled the baby out of her
I agree that what
vagine.
she did was a little shady. We all make mistakes.
It's
Bring
reality
her back.
TV.
Bring Phaedra back.
People have done worse and stayed on.
People have done way worse.
Oh, talking about Real Housewives of New York, which we'll get to later on. Like all those ladies are doing worse than what Phaedra did, just being by lying sleuths.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, I feel as if we must move on, unfortunately. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you come to the Morning Toast to become a well-rounded millennial. So here are the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast. First up is some sad news from Page Six. I feel like Page Six like lives for like tragedies. Not that this is necessarily a tragedy, but struggling Ben Affleck is headed back to rehab. As Ben Affleck enters rehab, friends of the actor tell Page Six that he's been struggling since breaking up with longtime girlfriend Lindsay Shookus, who's a writer for SNL. TMZ reported Wednesday night that the star checked into a facility after an intervention by ex-wife Jennifer Garner, who went to Ben's Pacific Palisades home Wednesday afternoon to sit down with her estranged husband, begging him to get help. So, I mean, this comes as no shock if you literally have seen any recent photo, video.
Yesterday was him getting the box of whiskey.
And then the day before was him at In-N-Out, and like only drunk people go to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
This is his third stint in rehab, and I just really feel like ever since him and Jen called it quits, his life has been tumultuous.
Yeah.
They're perfect for each other. I don't think his life will ever be right until he gets back to being. Remember when he was a family man?
Yeah.
That was the best.
Until we knew about the tattoo.
Yeah, and then
it just kind of shook our world. It shooketh our world. Shook us.
Shook us. They named their kid Serafina, which is just like the best. Do you like Serafina?
No, it's a mediocre restaurant.
Oh my God, whenever like people ask me like what's your favorite restaurant in New York, I say Serafina. It's consistently good. It's like McDonald's for elevated Italian food.
That's true.
It's good all around.
Actually, I haven't been in like a decade.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we go like once a week. It's the best.
Okay, well take me.
Okay, it's a New York City staple.
I know. And there's one in the Hamptons too, right?
Yes, East Hampton, except
Yeah.
I got food poisoning there.
Oh.
I threw up on the side of Montauk Highway. Oh my God.
I'm sure it was food poisoning.
No, I swear, ready? So I had lunch in East Hampton.
Was it rosé colored?
No, yes, it was, but let me explain. I went to lunch in East Hampton. I scarfed down a million things, including the pizza de Sofia, which is like the sandwiched pizza. It's like pizza crust, truffle, pizza crust. It's like a sandwich, which isn't really like my taste, but whatever.
No, I'm shocked that you
I was
eat
trying
truffle.
new things. I don't. Except I eat truffle french fries. I was trying new things, and then I went to a party in Bridgehampton, and I had like a weird, like nauseous feeling the whole time, so I didn't really drink. And I was like, damn, I can't wait to get home. And like the girls that I was with were like loving the party, and they wanted to stay the whole night. I'm like,
Lord.
girls, we gotta get home. Finally, we're in an Uber home, and I'm sitting in the front seat, and it's just, things are not going well for me in the front seat. And I kindly asked the driver to pull over, and I literally projectile vomited on the side of the highway, which is so scary because vomiting is scary enough, like what your body can do, and then like cars coming at you. I was just like so traumatized, and now every time I smell truffle, I think of Montauk Highway.
Yeah.
Where Bethany bought her house and renovated.
Yeah.
But Ben Affleck's back in rehab. I just feel kind of sad for him. Remember when everyone made fun of him for being cast as Batman?
Yeah.
That was like sad. They're like, oh, you're not masculine or sexy.
It's hard. I couldn't imagine
The scrutiny.
the scrutiny.
We have like the smallest level.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just like universally well liked. Have you ever fallen under like huge scrutiny?
So you just jinxed me.
Oh,
no,
God.
I know I haven't.
Oh, that's so true. Oh my God,
luckily.
knock on wood, a million times. Yeah.
No.
But you're like a nice guy, so.
I try to be.
You do good.
Try
You
to
do
be.
good work with Rainbow Railroad. Who could hate you?
I don't know. Actually, I don't think it's possible.
Do you ever get DMs like you suck?
Once in a while, people will say, like, the charity work we do isn't good. You know, like just stupid stuff. But
can't
it's
even.
actually, I mean, of 100 interactions with people on the internet or in real life, 99 are positive.
Mine are like 90 of them are positive,
Yeah.
you know? But you highlighted something really important that I think everyone should know, that TPG is legit saving lives.
Yes.
You are, like actually like individual lives are being saved.
Well, I'm helping organizations that do it. So, yeah, so Rainbow Railroad is amazing. So basically gay people in 90 different countries. There's only like 190 countries. And in 90 of them, it's still illegal to be gay. And many
Which
of them...
countries?
Okay,
You
here
were
we go.
Chechnya?
No, but the worst. So I just did a secret trip to Jamaica last
right.
week. There's gonna be a whole national expose, but people are like, if you're gay in Jamaica, especially trans, people are beaten up. There's like, in the culture there, in the pop songs, batty boy is a term where it's like basically faggot. And it's like, it's used and people, I met someone who had acid burns all over their body.
Oh my God.
It's really, really bad.
You just don't think of that when you
don't
think
of that
Jamaica.
Jamaica. So we're just trying to raise awareness. It's not
Right.
all terrible, but Jamaica, there's the most amount of work. Russia's terrible. There's like in Chechnya, which is just a trouble.
Which is more well known. I knew about that, but I
So
didn't
in
know
Russia,
about
so
Jamaica.
Rainbow Railroad, we get frequent flyer miles, and we've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars. We actually get people out. So if you're being persecuted in jail, like we'll get you out. We'll get you to a safe house. We'll book your flights,
And you
we
bring
get
them to
people
America?
to Canada, to America, to a bunch of different countries around the world.
That is
Spain.
so crazy.
So we've
And
got
where
this
can
whole
people
network.
donate?
So Rainbow Railroad. .ca, because it's a Canadian charity.
Okay.
If you just Google the Points Guy, Rainbow
Rainbow
Railroad, it goes into all the details about it. So
Anytime I Google something like travel related, you come up all the time, and I'm like, I know him, and it's actually super helpful. Photos
I
and
Google stuff
everything.
too, because
Do
I've 50 employees now basically, and we have 30 blog posts a day. So I don't even read every single post
Right.
half the time because I'm doing
'Cause you're-
important things like talking about
'cause
the
you're a
Housewives on the toast. Yeah, 'Cause I'm a CEO.
You're a CEO.
Yeah.
You're a CEO.
I review things. I don't.
You do? Oh,
yeah.
of course. Well, that's really impressive, and everyone should donate. That sounds awesome, and I can't believe the drama going on in Jamaica. I truly had no
Yeah.
idea. But sad for Ben Affleck is what I was basically
Yes.
trying to say. In a little bit of more happy news that I really have been I've been waiting to announce this for about 10 or 12 years. The Big Bang Theory is ending after season 12. The Big Bang Theory is going out with, well, a bang. Very funny news. The 12th season, premiering Monday on CBS, will be its last. CBS, Warner Brothers Television, and Chuck Lorre Productions announced the news in a joint statement. We're forever grateful to our fans for their support of The Big Bang Theory during the past 12 seasons. We, along with the cast, writers, and crew, are extremely appreciative of the show's success and aim to deliver a final season and series finale that will bring The Big Bang Theory to an epic creative close. Do you watch The Big Bang Theory?
Never seen an episode. Never
Thank
seen
God.
an episode of Game of Thrones.
What?
I watched too many. I've literally seen every Housewives franchise.
Yeah. Being a Bravo,
I even watch
connoisseur,
Potomac. You don't watch Potomac,
I don't,
do you?
and he
Oh, God.
loves to roam with love.
Well, yeah,
Is it
that
coming
was-
back for a second season?
I don't think so. I saw Andy and I forgot to
Shocker.
ask him.
Yeah, that's an important
I
question.
need to get better about asking people for dirt.
dirt.
Like Jill Zarin this week.
Where did you see her?
So I saw her at this tennis club in New York. We were filming something for Amex. She actually,
Rich.
through a friend, Jill got us into her tennis club. Jill, first of all, looks amazing.
Oh my
her
God.
body is slamming.
Oh, you wanna know what it
she
is?
She looks so good.
Her boyfriend that they said Ramona dated is a tennis player. Maybe that's how.
Well, so we were filming a digital commercial for Amex, and she got us in because her boyfriend, I think, is on the WTA women's tennis board.
Rich.
So we were able to film, and it's like on 60th Street, these like amazing rooftop tennis courts.
Rooftop tennis court?
Yeah.
What if the ball goes
So
over
I
and
met
like
her
hits someone
dog,
in the head?
Bossy Zarin.
Oh yeah.
Cute.
I really, honestly, have a soft spot.
But I
spot
forgot
in
to
my
ask
heart.
Jill if she's coming back to the Housewives.
Well,
I don't think, from my inside sources, I don't believe she is.
My inside sources say that she's coming back in a part-time role as friend of Housewife.
Part-time, I could see that.
Like, remember when Luann got demoted to friend of Housewife?
Yeah.
That was tough for her.
Oh my God, Luann's Instagram last night of her popping up. Do you think she's not doing her own social?
Her social media has been elevated in the past couple months. I think with her being in rehab, like someone else took it on, and I know that she has like a team. And one time I watched an Instagram live of hers. I got the notification the second it started, so I watched, and there was a young man on it, and he didn't know that he was like on it, and she was like, turn it off, and then it turned off. It was like 10 seconds. I was like the only person to see it. So I think that was like her social media intern or something. Taking a note out of the Sonia Morgan
I actually
book.
kind of missed the days when she was doing social media where she would host. where it would be like she's hosting a show. She's like, hello, welcome to my apartment. Let's go. I'm a girl on the go. And then she'd like open up the key to her apartment. So good.
Did you see her Instagram story last night in a Giovanni dress?
Yes, I did.
I don't think
I'm loving her creative for this tour.
Me too. By the way, so another very high profile event that TPG.
Our first date.
Let me tag along was the cabaret with the Countess, and very interesting is
I had to beg, borrow, and steal
for those tickets.
It was
worth
harder to get Countess Cabaret tickets for one of her opening nights than it was for the VMAs.
Wow,
truthfully.
Good for her.
Good for her.
No, but we went to the first show, and what's so interesting?
Oh, that was the very first one.
Yes, and what's so interesting is that the Housewives season finale, they made it seem like that was the first episode, the first show.
No.
When we went the night before, and then I saw videos the next night of Sonia's dress falling off, and I was like, damn it, I wish we went to the second one.
Yeah.
But
I think, Sonia actually showed us.
Oh, did she? Sonia was at our show. She was the only housewife because she's a part of the shtick.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I couldn't stop drinking. I drank so much.
We need to show our photo whenever.
Well, you know what sucks is that
I need to share that photo of us and Luann afterwards.
Oh my God, we were being so thirsty, like up in Luann's grill. But what's so sad is
we like breached security. We didn't really have a meet and greet.
It was like a VIP meet and greet, and she was just like, literally people were berating her. Yeah. But what's so sad about that is that I captured so much premium content that I planned on posting the next day. But the next day, my life was ruined, and my show got canceled. So I never got to post. That's like one of the worst parts of this whole thing is like I never got to post that premium content. So every now and then I'll put up the picture of me and Luann on my Instagram story as like a throwback Thursday. I'll get the content
Thursday.
to you. I'll put it on the Toast Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was just an
too.
epic night.
Yeah.
And that's just another thing TPG has let me tag along to. I'm like a professional +1 when it comes to TPG. Speaking of TPG, our next story comes from a very well-respected travel site. Have you heard of thepointsguy.com? Here is a little travel news. We like to do mostly celebrity, but I'll always throw in like a business or a travel, like something more worldly to become more cosmopolitan. I just feel it's good to leave our viewers feeling, really
well-rounded, yeah.
Well-rounded, exactly.
Yep.
This is the most well-rounded morning show in mornings. So Lyft is going to be providing free and discounted rides on Election Day. Did you read this one yet?
I actually read it on my way over.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize that was ours. And then, then I read all the nasty comments. Did you see that?
Do you read the comments on your website?
Yeah.
What did they say? Okay, I'll read them too.
Okay.
So the election season is upon us, and that means it's time to figure where and who you're going to vote for. Ride-sharing company Lyft won't tell you who to put your support behind, but it does plan on making it easier for Americans to exercise their right to vote in November. Voting in the U.S. doesn't come easy for everyone. A recent study showed that as many as 15 million registered voters didn't make it to the polls in 2016 due to transportation issues. To combat the issue, ride-sharing giant Lyft announced on Thursday that it will provide promotional codes for 50% off rides to the polls on midterm election day, November 6th, in partnership with nonpartisan Get Out the Vote organizations like When We All Vote and National Voter Registration Day. It will also integrate technology into its app to help find one's polling location. That is legit.
Because it can be hard to find.
It can. And we don't think of it because we live in New York and like you just walk a couple blocks to your nearest booth.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. It's not really a booth. It's more of like a partition.
Yeah.
But that's not the case for everyone.
No.
Good for Lyft.
Good for Lyft,
Being
right?
socially
I mean,
conscious.
who could like disagree? Helping people vote. That's a good
Well,
thing,
let's
right?
see what the comments say. Here. Lyft is based out of San Francisco. Need I say more? We all know that San Francisco is not partisan. If you believe that, then I have an island to sell you. Oh, Jeff. Oh, you're so funny, Jeff. Oh, please. Like, someone can't just do something nice
There's
these
one
days.
about the celebrities behind it, and then and it's like ghetto poor people. That's
Oh
what
my
it's about.
God.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this seems awesome.
Yeah.
Good for Lyft.
There's always going to be trolls.
Always. Oh my God. Even when like...
Never feed the trolls, though. That's what I tell.
I know.
Like, so my new writers will like engage, and I'm like, stop. That's what they want.
So
if you
much
forget
easier
about
said
them,
than done.
I know.
Have you ever had like a bad interaction when you responded to a troll?
Not really. But then it just, no matter, even if your point's like, aha, like they're still like, oh my God, he responded.
And that's what they wanted.
Of course.
And if you're not going to respond to the person who's like, I love you so much.
I mean, and there is no better diss than ignoring someone. It's so true. Like,
it's so true. Margaret, I literally said that to you last night. There's nothing cooler than like just being cool, you know?
Yeah.
Ignoring. Do you remember when I said that to you?
You said that to me last night.
Yeah. I'll tell you why later. I'm not going to blow your cover on TV. On like the most prestigious morning show. A million people are watching. So Lyft, which ride sharing?
So I know it's, like, I'm barely a millennial. I'm 35.
You're millennial.
So I'm like a cut in my hat, so I've only ever used Uber. Well, also because when Uber first started doing like the referral codes, I wrote a blog post about it, and then it like Google paid rank #1. So I had like $200,000 in Uber credits. And like from like 2014 to like 2017, then they changed the rules. It's only like $25.
You can only use it as many.
So I had so much like Uber. So I've only ever used Uber. I'm also, like, I hate Uber X because, like, I've had so many crazy drivers that don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Like in Miami, where I live part of the time, like the Uber X drivers are ratchet. Like I've had 2 different experiences. I'm running late to the airport and they're like, I need to stop and get gas. I'm like, no, like you have one job. Like,
but you know what? It's like in Miami, the Uber is so much. It's like
it's so much better. It's at least better than the taxis. The
right,
taxis,
but it's half price. So in Miami, I'll always do Select, whereas in New York, I'm not always going to be doing SUV because, like, you know.
And most of the time, if you just do Uber Black, then it is an SUV.
Yes,
especially
that is
in LA.
true.
Yeah.
And LA is good too.
But to answer your question, I've never used Lyft. I have this, like, I don't know.
So I've used Lyft because they gave me a bunch of credits a while back, and then when the credits ran out, I stopped using it. But when you sign up for Lyft, you have to make a profile and you have to put up a picture.
Oh.
And I didn't have like any cute pictures in my phone, and I had just done this funny thing on my Instagram with like the cast members of Friends. So I put a picture of David Schwimmer as my picture, and I didn't realize that the drivers would be like referencing this photo to look for me, and every time I got in the car, they'd be like. And only one time was the guy like in tune with what's necessary and like knew who Ross was and he was like laughing about it. The other times they were so confused. I was like, sorry. But then I stopped using Lyft. I'm an Uber patron and I get very good customer service here because I've been using it since high school. And I do.
Do you think your score's over 4?
Yeah, oh, I could tell you. It keeps going up. I was at a 4.67.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no,
It's
I'm
still
good.
kind of bad.
Is it? What's yours? Your rating?
I don't know.
Okay,
I think
so
mine's
how do you
good.
know mine's bad?
Mine's pretty good now, I think. Well, mine was bad for a while because I would give my Uber account out to all my friends because I had all this free credit. So then my dopey friends were using it, and like I was like, why is my score going down?
Oh yeah. No, a bad score is not a good reflection upon one's image.
No, I think I think you really want to be 4.7, 4.8.
Well, I heard if you get below a 4.
That they're stuck. Well, if you get below 4.5, they said, but
no.
All drivers are thirsty. They want the money.
And I was.
They're not going to like not pick up a 4.5.
Yeah, I was at a 4.4 for a while.
Oh, really?
Maybe that's why people were canceling on me. Yeah. By the way, 4.5 is high. That's like, if you go below a 4, you should.
I definitely didn't have that sort of grades in school.
No, me neither. Yeah. Were you smart in school?
I was like smart in SATs and certain subjects, but like physics, horrible. Like calculus, nightmares.
Points is a lot of math.
It is, but like I like basic math. So I did really well on like fundamental math, but like the conceptual, like cosine,
logic,
sine. Like I failed the mole highway in chemistry. I'm like, what the fuck is a mole? Like this
mole.
is. You remember that, the conversions? I would just like store everything in my TA83, like all the notes. So.
That's so funny. No, we're a big believer on this show that like being smart in school is like not a reflection of who you are as a person. But when you're
I got rejected from NYU, and now I have all these NYU employees.
Did you?
It feels good.
Where did you go to college?
University of Pittsburgh.
There's just like when you're in high school, it's like the kids who are smart are like on an elevated. Like it's like a different playing field. Like you are constantly like comparing yourself to like the smart kids and like you think you're a loser. And I went to my high school reunion and I was just like, I saw all these people who were like the smartest kids who like literally like they went to the best colleges, like they were like our future, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you do? And she's like, well, you know, I'm looking for a job in fashion. I'm like, what? You know, it's like we're all equal now that we're not in high school. And like, it's all the same. Like I'm very successful and I like literally had straight C's.
Yeah.
And had a lot of help getting into NYU. Like it's like,
you got straight, and you still got an NYU?
No, not straight C's. I had a 3.
Dagger, just keep.
3.4. But see, I went to high school in New York, and they used a lot of high schools in New York as like filler schools to like fill up the graduating class. So like, yes, no, I definitely did not deserve to get into NYU.
Fishy.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
I was ready, you know,
but you went
to
to
pack my bags.
NYU, and you were still my guest at VMAs, so I guess it evens out.
Sad, should say. Okay, whatever, bitch. So good on Lyft for being socially conscious. I feel like ride-sharing apps are under so much scrutiny these days. Ooh, what are your thoughts on this whole Uber ride-sharing Mayor de Blasio thing that's happening in New York?
Oh yeah, they're capping it.
They passed legislation.
Uber. I mean, so I have a house in the Hamptons, and like it was so annoying when East Hampton passed these dumb rules. In general, Uber like is convenient. That's what people want. Like let's stop.
I couldn't agree more.
Like it's safer, people don't drive drunk. Like when Uber was gone in East Hampton, I knew so many people that would drive like when they shouldn't have been. So I'm pro Uber, pro all ride sharing. It is the future. Like let's just like.
And so many people make good income off of it.
Constituents want, yeah.
I couldn't agree more. It's so not intuitive.
I mean, I remember I moved to the city in 2006, and like going to a happy hour would be raining, you would not get a ride home. You just wouldn't. Cabs. Like you would be out in the rain, and I remember being with friends. Like you go on that side of the street, like divide and conquer, spending 20 minutes in the rain trying to get a taxi. And that doesn't exist anymore. So
Uber changed the
let's
world.
not go backwards. Let's go forward.
I couldn't agree more. And not to mention, like, it's so convenient for so many New Yorkers to get around. But then it's also literally people's entire lives. Like, people who, like, work part-time as an Uber driver, like, it supplements their income.
Right.
So it's like everyone is losing.
But no, anyone can get a taxi medallion for $1 million.
Right.
Right?
All
So
you need is $1 million. That's
Yeah,
so true.
stupid.
And it's like, this is their way of, like, the taxis never got in tune with, like, digital, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when I was in Chicago, like, a couple years ago, and I was using Uber, you could Uber a taxi and pay for the taxi without. And it was so great. Like, me and Ben went to dinner, and we got out of a taxi, and in the middle of dinner, we were like, wait, did we pay for that taxi?
Oh, no, I always,
And we
sometimes
did.
I'll take a taxi and I'll get out.
Leave. Yeah. But so in Chicago, we were so used to paying for the Ubers with our Uber, for the taxis with our Uber, that we got out of dinner we got out of a taxi that wasn't ordered with an Uber, and we didn't pay. And like literally nobody said anything. We realized 30 minutes later. Yeah, that's how integrated it was. But like now in New York, it's literally the opposite. And they've got to evolve.
Yeah.
And this is not the way to evolve,
Yeah.
to like stop a growing company.
Right.
And like, it's convenient for so many people with Via and Uber Pool, Margot Lyft lines literally every day. Like it is just, I can't.
But we should be using the MTA, which is in great shape, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
the bacteria on there, which is new bacteria yet to be discovered by science. And so much like, I'm telling you, the next, I don't want to jinx it, actually, I'm not going to say what I'm about to say. I am obsessed with this fourth story because it's so crazy. It's from Us Magazine, Us Weekly, whatever. But it's still true. I know, oh wait, it's 11/11, Make-A-Wish. Okay.
that was a long wish.
What do you wish for when, like, what's your
can't tell
go-to
you.
wish? Oh my God, that's like not true.
It's along the lines of like health, happiness.
Yeah, me too. Okay, for like everyone I love, and including more so myself.
Just me. She can't like spread it too thin.
Okay, so this story is wild. Kendall Jenner clarifies Love magazine model comments following controversy. So another day, another Kardashian-Jenner controversy. Earlier this week, Kendall Jenner caused quite the stir with comments that she made in an interview with Love magazine, and now she took to Twitter to rebut the criticism. So basically, what she said in an interview with Love magazine, in short, was, quote, "Since the beginning, we've been super selective about what shows I would do," she told the publication, adding, "I was never one of those girls who would do like 30 shows a season or whatever the fuck those girls do." This caused quite a stir on social media, with many models voicing the dismay over her insensitive comments. Model Irina Juranovic took to Instagram to respond saying, "Never been so indirectly and publicly offended in my entire life. To be called a supermodel, how easy it comes to you." So basically what all these models were saying was like, you're like making fun of us for working nonstop when like, great for you, you never had to work nonstop and you could be quote unquote selective with the campaigns you do and the runways that you walk, but like we're out here living in model apartments with 30 girls sharing one room and one bathroom and you're making fun of us.
And I love the one who's like, oh, by the way, it's actually 70 shows a season.
Right,
So, yeah.
Exactly. So Jenner tweeted out an apology yesterday that began like this. "I was misrepresented in a recent interview over the weekend, and it's important to clarify the meaning. It was intended to be entirely complimentary, but unfortunately, my words were twisted and taken out of context. I want to be clear. The respect that I have for my peers is immeasurable, exclamation point. I get to experience firsthand their tireless commitment to their work ethic, the endless days, lack of sleep, separation of family and friends, stress of traveling, the toll of physical and mental health, yet they still make it all look effortless and beautiful. I'm inspired by so many of these people I have the webpage, Us Magazine.
We got the hint though.
Oh, hold on, I need to finish dramatically. I'm inspired by so many of the people I have had the good fortune to work alongside. There's no way I could ever hate on that. I want everyone to win. Slay always." What are your thoughts?
I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt. Obviously she's not. I think she's obviously privileged and
Got to where she is
because I think I don't get the sense that she's. I don't know. I totally understand all the models like outcry. I'd be mad too. But
Me too.
Of all the things to be mad about in today's world,
Right.
I think I'm going to give her a pass on this one.
Yeah, I feel right in the middle because I definitely understand the outrage because it's like it definitely is a fucked up thing to say and just like totally lacking self-awareness. But at the same time, I know how manipulative magazines can be and like how really people's words do get taken and turned.
I take it back. I have a lot of friends who have worked with her and say she's super hard work ethic, no diva, gets it done.
Really?
Yes. So, yeah, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't think she actually hates on the
Me
other
too.
ones, or I think it probably was twisted.
That's the Kris Jenner
And
work ethic.
What is Love magazine?
It's like prestigious in fashion digital. I've never bought a copy, but there are always cool people on the cover.
Cool.
And they do that advent calendar every year where like everyone's naked. No, I definitely agree with you. That is the Kris Jenner work ethic. Like, regardless of their stature, Kris Jenner makes them, they're never allowed to cancel. Like, remember when Reggie was in the Super Bowl in like season 2 and Kim wanted to cancel a photo shoot and Kris would not let her? Like, they're not allowed to cancel. They must always be professional. And that's kind of what, like, just one thing I appreciate about them is that they really do have hard work ethic. This is definitely a bad thing to say, but I don't know.
Probably was twisted. I mean, I can't really think she's like putting down women.
And like, and having been through that Pepsi thing, she's been through quite a few, scandals. So I can't think she would be that stupid to say this.
Yeah, agreed.
And she definitely said something along the lines of being like, yes, I was super selective when launching my modeling career, which is definitely a privilege that she had, which is not a bad thing. Like, that's
what it is.
It is what it is.
Her life, yeah.
But I don't think she said like whatever the fuck those girls do. Like, I just can't think she would be that stupid.
Yeah, agreed.
But maybe she could. I don't know. I'm not buying it. But ever since she blurred out that Casey Musgraves album behind her at the Bowery Hotel, I've been a little skeptical. Do you remember that?
I don't.
She took an Instagram on one of the rooms at the Bowery Hotel that has like the big terrace, and behind her was a billboard, and it was for Casey Musgraves' new album. Do you like Casey Musgraves?
I don't know. I've seen her on your Instagram.
I think you would like her.
Yeah, let's have a listening party.
Okay. But she blurred out the billboard.
I'm going to Nashville today. Is she going to be there? You can just connect us.
Oh, okay.
Group
Done.
text, cool.
Done.
In case.
She blurred out Casey Musgraves' album, and like she got so much backlash for it because like I guess she didn't want to promote like an album, which I kind of understand, but like just like it's a cute picture and it was a very cute billboard. Like it really would have.
Yeah.
And she went on this whole thing being like she loves Casey Musgraves and like she doesn't edit her photos. Like I don't know how many times are you going to
So it was like a blur.
Right. Yeah. How many times are you going to blame someone else? You know.
Yeah.
Just a thought. Our fifth and final story, which is going to lead us into our recap of The Real Housewives of New York, Episode 1, Part 1, Reunion. Ramona Singer isn't that proud of Luann de Lesseps for leaving Rehab. So let's jump right in. One Real Housewife of New York City is getting real about her thoughts on co-star Luann de Lesseps' D'Agostino. Drop the D'Agostino. Ramona Singer spoke with Enu's Jelly Pop a dish on all the things Real Housewives and dating related. Singer hasn't spoken to de Lesseps since she left Rehab, but shared her opinions on the situation. When Singer was first asked if she was proud of Luann's recovery, there was a long pause. Quote, I think someone who gets out of rehab after 2 weeks, I mean, are they really well? What kind of message are you sending to other people who have serious alcoholic problems? I don't think anyone can get better in 2 to 3 weeks. That's what Ramona said. Kind of harsh, but I don't disagree. But I've also never been to rehab, nor have I ever yet, God forbid, struggled with alcohol abuse. So like, I don't know how long that takes.
Yeah.
It just does seem like a short amount of time.
So once again, I also am not a great
familiar,
resource on addiction. But I do see the point in that, she was Instagramming about her cabaret act. Like the thing from talking to friends who have been in AA, and like addiction is like putting yourself in the same situations over and over. So when you, people's places and things, right? You're not supposed to put your plate, if you're really trying to be sober.
Like you stop hanging with your drinking friends.
And I was actually at Chris Birch's house when she started this.
They reference that next week.
Yeah, so I was there. I was sitting on the sofa.
And how many days was that before she went to rehab?
That was July 4th. It was the next weekend, a week or so.
Dying.
And I mean, so I was sitting on the sofa and there was a whole audience and the world's #1 pianist. And Luann.
By the way, Chris Birch is Troy Birch's ex-husband, and he had a big party in the Hamptons where Luann, they talk about it next week, Luann was like definitely drunk and TPG was there.
Yeah.
And they had this pianist, sorry.
And so like you can walk, his beautiful big Southampton home, you can walk on the lawn, and like she walked in front of the world's #1 pianist with her hat on. Like it was cringeworthy, and that's
The
like
lack
what
of
made it.
respect.
I was like, we're like, what? Who just did that? Like you don't walk. You can walk along the back, right? It's a monster mansion lawn.
Right.
Walk along the lawn.
Got it.
So that was a little like, okay, there's clouded
Something's
judgment,
amok.
and then
And then she did an Instagram story where she was like visibly wasted in her house in Sag Harbor.
that was like right as it was happening.
And then everyone knew. And she references that. She referenced that on Megyn
the
Kelly.
bonfire. Who's on the bonfire? Who's cooking Jimmy's at the?
Yeah, that was bad.
But anyways, back to the point. To this whole cabaret act, it's great for her to be doing it, and I get people to have creative outlets, but like you probably shouldn't be, and it's like the
Bars.
same situation. And it's
I
like,
agree.
She came out and she did really well, and she looks amazing, and everyone's rooting for Luann.
She looked amazing at her show.
But then it's like you see her on Instagram now, and she's with the same people in her convertible, doing the same things, like going back to Sag Harbor, where she continued to have the meltdown.
True.
So, I mean, none of us are here, none of us are experts in therapy or whatever, but it seemed a little rushed, because it was, from my understanding, a pretty bad
Interesting.
meltdown.
Yeah.
So we're rooting for Luann. I'm Luann.
So on Team Luann, and her absence at the reunion really upset me because A, I just love her, but B, they really needed her. Like
They did.
Just to even out the couches.
That reunion, just
was bizarre.
Bizarre.
So
it's sad.
Let's talk about that. They started in a really awkward way because Andy was just trying to make like pleasant conversation before jumping into like the dirty, and he was talking about like Halloween costumes.
By the way, can we just talk about these girls? Andy, like their disrespect for him
is absurd.
Absurd, and then they wonder why he's gonna like clap back at them. And by the way, he's your boss.
I couldn't agree more. It was the most disorderly. It's like they all got together.
Let's just start with Carol's phone.
Oh my God. When Andy's face.
I'm surprised they even let them have their phones on set.
They always keep it behind the pillows because they always have receipts.
They always want
to show the phones.
That's right.
So actually, I like that. Do you remember a couple of years ago, Ramona printed out screenshots?
Oh, yeah.
She like put her phone on a Xerox machine because she didn't know how to screenshot. And she pulled it out. She literally pulled out like a manila envelope full of screenshots. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yes, when Carol's phone, that was insane. The lack of respect for Andy is like getting out of control.
That was like her moment. Do you think that's when he like made the decision?
Totally, she's gone.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, she quit.
Oh, did she? That's what she claims. Yeah. Okay. No, why would you walk away from like literally the number one team? And after 10 years of being on the show, completely irrelevant, you finally get the seat next to Andy, and that's the year that you quit? Yeah, oh, good. But it's almost like Carol, Dorinda, and Ramona like got together before and was like, anytime Bethany speaks, let's all talk at once.
Yeah.
They didn't, like, regardless of whose side you're on, like this is supposed to be a conversation, and conversations go like this. One person talks, and then another person responds.
And it was just so petty. Like every time, like all three of them in unison. Like
Screaming.
the unison, it's for the cameras. It's like.
Oh, and the biggest there's two huge hypocrisies going on that I must highlight. The first is that they're all ragging on Bethany for filming at the funeral.
Gosh.
Like, one, they're just jealous they weren't asked to film.
But there wasn't a storyline about ashes.
No,
there wasn't an episode about ashes.
Of course, flying to London to buy. Totally.
There wasn't a storyline because that would be gross.
That would be gross. So her doing it on camera is tasteless, tacky, and she's just looking for a storyline. But her being so grateful to Dorinda off camera is not enough.
Not enough.
So so let's get this straight. Bethany has to apologize on camera in order to be in good graces with everyone. And she has to film the funeral off camera just to be accepted by Dorinda, Carol, and Ramona. Like, just the hypocrisy, like they were just contradicting themselves. They just would not let her say one thing and this is I'm so obviously like a Bethany supporter, but regardless of whose side you're on, just like from a human point, like you can't expect like anyone to get anywhere without them literally letting her speak.
Yeah, and it's just sad to see. Like they clearly like had their notes together, every single thing. And I know they all prepare before the reunion, but it's not a good look. I think they thought their strategy is if they all ganged up and made it so untenable with Bethany, they would choose Bethany, and
totally. And they would think that the audience just would side with the people talking the most. Which is just not true.
The audience is smart.
Yes. And there's like 70% on Bethany's side, according to the Watch Weapons Live poll that I voted in. Also, the second huge hypocrisy that I literally can't even with is like just the apologizing for Dorinda. Like, if Dorinda was anyone else, like they would be ragging on her.
So they're bad friends.
Terrible friends, enabling her. Like, I don't care whose side you're on, you have to admit that at some point, like Dorinda's drinking.
And I kind of wish Bethany would have because she did say you're a drunk. You are a drunk, period. The viewers know it, we know it. You slur, you stab yourself.
Yep.
You hurt people, you forget who you did stuff.
You say crazy things. I can't believe that she apologized to the wrong guy at the warehouse.
Oh, of course.
We didn't see that on camera.
She's blackout.
Yeah.
Like, it's a problem.
But a couple of years ago,
Sonia.
when Sonia was drinking a lot, they took every reunion to bash her business and to bash her drinking, and everyone was on board with that. But now that it's Dorinda, it's like, why does Dorinda get a free pass at like being out of control, saying crazy things, and drinking a lot, whereas everyone else has to apologize for it? And then they're like, well,
no, but in Cartagena, she did only have 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah, right.
If
with
you
her
think
lipstick.
That's stupid.
With her lipstick, and it's like.
And who wiped the lipstick off of her?
Bethany. I can't believe Carol let her sit there on camera for literally 2 hours without wiping off her lipstick. It was so rude. I've had
a lot of girlfriends like Bethany, like in high school, like the strong girl that always wants to help people. That's what the weak ones will always try to topple them.
It comes down to one thing.
Jealousy.
So, I would be jealous too.
Yeah.
Ramona's been on the show longer than Bethany, and Bethany managed to take this little show and turn it into a multi-million-dollar business, and it's on Shark Tank. She's on the cover of Money Magazine. Like, you can't even compare Ramona's fake skincare line.
Now, what I will say, I think Bethany could have, and I get her point, like, I think sometimes in life, there's always going to be people who are fakers in your group of friends. And I guess that's just not her to be. I would have just been like, congratulations. Like, unfortunately, I was busy, couldn't go to your launch. But that wouldn't make for good TV.
She dug herself a bigger grave.
But I love that line.
Wait, and by the way,
I love the noted. Noted. Yeah. I'm using that.
You can
noted.
make an appointment with my secretary. No, epic, but like, she has to be so careful because anything she does, they'll use as like a 30-minute argument. So like, unless you feel really strongly about it, just like say congratulations and say you had to hang out with Bryn or something.
Right.
But I just want to say.
But then it's like if she's fake like that, or her fans and viewers, we love her honesty. We love those moments. So if that's what I hate when there are housewives who and those are the housewives that get kicked off because you're not being
that are above it.
Right.
Except for Erica Jane, she's mastered that of being above it, but like staying relevant.
She kind of gets dragged into it too sometimes.
Once a season.
Well, she knows she has to have her meltdown.
Yeah, of
whenever
course.
she's on a boat.
Because she's got to
find. Don't you act like this.
You don't know what I go through at night. But wait, the best part is that Bethany was right. Ramona still doesn't have a formula.
Yeah.
So it's like she threw a party 4 or 5 months ago for a brand that doesn't even have products, formula, or laboratory, just a name.
Yeah.
Bethany wasn't wrong in going to support
And I loved
sham.
how they were trying to come for her with her like skinny pop products.
Oh,
and
she's
stuff.
like, it's in stores.
Yeah.
I'm buying skinny girl jeans.
Of course.
Actually, can you get me a free pair?
I probably can.
Okay, good.
Burgundy wine color.
And that's what I want.
Yeah.
They're so cute and they look so good on Sonia.
I actually asked her, I was like, are the only reason you're friends with me so that, because Sonia was like, do you have any gays in your life? And I was like, is this the reason why?
You're the number one.
Yeah.
But
and I wouldn't say number one.
So much more. Can we talk for a second about Sonia Morgan, New York? I have now seen 2 pieces. She wore this pink number that had like a rose on it on Watch What Happens Live. She looked gorgeous and it was under $200. And I didn't know that
$149.
The dress she wore last night.
Can we talk about the Sonia Morgan bump it? I was slayed by that.
Me too. Honestly, she was the only person in the world who could pull it off.
Sonia Morgan and her.
Hey, yeah.
She really has come back. Interesting, like she's obviously aligned to Bethany.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, she's doing a really good job. Smart.
Yeah. And I like this season when they were just like laughing about her profile. Like that's just like fun. We need more fun times.
I know. But
this
season has been so good.
Yeah, this is a good season.
But also, you know what it makes me think now that we're seeing like clear, sober, skinny, fit, awesome Sonia?
Yeah.
Is like this must be.
But did you think she was sober when we saw her at Countess Cabaret? I thought she was blackout, but I also think that might be her shtick.
No, but I think she probably was drinking. But I meant sober in the sense that like she's not drinking all the time.
Yeah.
She's not an alcoholic. She can drink when she wants. But just like cutting back, it definitely has helped her just be more lucid and more clear.
I've never been to her Wednesday night parties. Who out here? What toaster can get me in?
Oh, totally. We have to get in.
We gotta go.
She doesn't matter townhouse, right? But she's renting.
So I'm putting it out into the universe. I need to go. Oh, she rented out. I'll host her Wednesday night gig
Mixer
at my apartment. I can fit a lot of people.
Totally, it's a great apartment. Wait, I just have to
putting it out in the universe.
It's almost like the Sonia we're seeing now is the Sonia that JP Morgan fell in love with.
Totally.
You know, she was like this gorgeous, glamorous, funny, cool, collected girl who like was traveling all around the world. And that lifestyle definitely got to her and she kind of like fell from grace.
Yeah.
And when we first saw her on the show, she was like picking up the pieces.
I feel the same way with the Countess. Actually, no, the Count didn't fall in love. Countess knows the jokes about her now.
Yeah, and that's the best part.
But yeah, Sonia, and she wasn't that delusional this year.
No, she was so on the ball. When Carol came to her room in Cartagena and like they were just talking, she was being so rational. Like I'm endlessly surprised by the new Sonia Morgan.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Except, they had to give so many subtitles in the reunion last night because everyone wouldn't stop talking. When they play those clips, they usually have the clip on the screen and then the housewives' reaction in the corner. They swapped it because there was so much drama happening when they were playing the clips. Dorinda muttering under her mouth.
Let's just go back to Andy again too. Like his side eye. You could tell Andy was not having it with Dorinda and Carol.
No, I know.
You know,
People
as a former HR professional, like read your audience. Like this is your boss. Like And did Carol actually say you're full of shit, Andy?
She didn't say it last night, but she says it.
But they played it so much.
You're so full of shit,
That was
Andy.
her kiss of death.
Dumb,
like, what are you doing?
Dumb. But also with Andy, it's like he's getting a ton of shit for, on Twitter, people are saying like he took Bethany's side. And he intervened twice. Once when he said that Jill reached out to production to film the funeral, because that's a really important distinction.
Important fact, yeah.
So that's not taking sides. That's literally just
because their whole narrative
facts.
is Bethany's a fake person that only went to the funeral to film.
And Andy has information like that sets the record straight, and it's really important that. So I didn't think that was taking Bethany's side. It was just a fact that proved Bethany wasn't lying, and Bethany just sitting there like. Yeah, the best. And he also intervened when he was like, let her talk. And that's not necessarily taking Bethany's side. No one would let her talk. Everyone else, when they got a moment to speak, except Tinsley literally didn't say a word the whole time.
Not one word.
She's so like irrelevant.
I know.
I feel like,
although I do like her new haircut.
Me too.
Yeah.
I didn't like her dress, but I feel like the show has really brought her back. That like she knows how valuable it is.
Is Tinsley the Cameron?
You mean Cameron
From Dallas?
No. Cameron is the absolute worst. I like Tinsley. I'm getting slowly over her. Her trying on wedding dresses and like taking Carol's side. But now that Carol's gone, I think Tinsley values this show so much as like a job and a form of income and like a celebrity, like a status thing that she might.
I did like Tinsley's drop to the floor when Scott walked in. That was a good moment of Housewives history.
I'm sorry, that was so stupid.
It was so good.
I'm so over her. Like, and I think them bringing her on the show was like the perfect, because I don't like when like celebrities come on the show. Like Denise Richards, like I could live without it. You know, I really like. But
Rena's been probably one of the best.
But Rena wasn't
ads.
like so famous before that.
Was Denise Richards?
No, but she's a household name. I didn't really know who Lisa Rinna was.
Oh, Lisa Rinna's a household. I mean, I'm older than you. Yeah.
Okay, well then maybe. But Tinsley was a perfect cast because she was the original. Like what they were looking for, socialite, and she needed the show. And I'm just like endlessly disappointed by her presence on the show.
Do you think Tinsley shook with Carol leaving? Like, how do you think the alliances are going to shift next season?
So that's what I'm saying. I think Tinsley knows the value of the show and knows that it could spin her into...
Do you think Tinsley's going to try to get... I don't think Bethany would want to...
No, but she's definitely not going to align herself as much to the Dorindas and the Carols of the world because she's seeing the audience reaction, and really the audience dictates who leaves.
Right.
Like, if someone hates everyone and no one in the... Like, the audience... Like, they listen to the audience, which I love. Like, having a say. That's why I feel like I need to come on the show and preach so that we can get the people off that we want off, you know? I just feel like it was so pointless, and they never got to the end of any argument, and they never let Bethany speak, and I'm just like, I'm so done. Like, I can't believe we have two more. Usually,
2 more?
I know. Usually the first installment is like relatively boring because they save the good stuff for part 2
There
and
was
part
no
3.
recaps of the season, really.
Right.
It was just like...
We didn't get anywhere.
No.
We didn't move forward. We didn't move the needle. Like, just
Although
nothing.
I love the montage in the fashion.
Me too.
The acid party in the Hamptons when they were all...
That was so funny. Oh my God, and
good.
I don't even remember that. It has been such a long season that I didn't even remember Halloween.
No.
And I'm sorry, Luann's costume, I have to be on with Carol on this one.
And they all...
Tone deaf.
And they all knew it.
Yeah.
And because none of them said anything...
They didn't want to look like assholes, so they said that TV made it look worse.
They're trying to save face. No.
It was bad. Like, when she came in, I didn't know what to be more shocked by, the afro or the blackface. I was like...
Yeah.
Like, that is just rule number 1.
They're like, it's not blackface, it's caramel face.
No, and they were like, she's got a spray tan.
No. And an afro. Oh.
So bad on so many levels that, like, I couldn't believe... Actually, I mean, I knew Carol was going to be the one to say it, but she was the only one who really gave justice for Luann, because that was, like, not cute at all. Any other thoughts on the Real Housewives of New York reunion? I'm just, like, I'm so living for this, and I would like to make a formal announcement. I would like to invite Bethany to my home with my sisters for Shabbat dinner. Because as a fellow Jew, I just think she would have a good time. We make really good food. We're fun.
She's not Jewish.
Bethany's not Jewish?
Frankel?
Yeah.
What?
She's...
Margo, Google it.
I am.
She's like half. I think her... No, I think sure. No, she's not Jewish and definitely not practicing.
No, not practicing, but
her
cultural.
father was Jewish and her mother was a Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
She's half Jewish, but not the good half.
Not the right half. Okay. All right, whatever. I want to invite her to my house because I feel so strong. I can't believe I've come so far because like when Bethany versus Jill, I was like team Jill in high school because I like loved Jill. But now it's like an adult, I kind of
watching the footage back and how Jill rebuffed her, bad move. Like, don't these people realize come for Bethany? It's not going to work out well for you.
They should play more of that footage because when Ramona set them up, Ramona's so thirsty. Ramona's always pretending she wants people to get back together, like Carol and Bethany and Jill, but she doesn't. She's just such a thirst monster that.
So you don't believe Ramona's a woman supporting women?
Oh my God, that whole thing. It's like, what? Okay, so Bethany has to support you even though you're a bitch and don't have real businesses? Like, what? Because you have a vagina?
But you have 30 friends you can scramble in a heartbeat.
And did you hear what
Rent a
Sonia said?
Rent a crowd.
I fucking I actually found out good gossip about Dorinda and Ramona because Dorinda really does run in this very elite, rich New York crowd because of her ex-husband, and Ramona is like her trashy friend.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting? But I don't take Dorinda for like rich and fancy because like her apartment is like so sad and like her house in Berkshire is really pretty, but like I just don't take, and she's a drunk.
We just have to, because I know we have to go to Dallas, but like the crab claw incident.
I know. Okay, like there's literally too much going on. Like I can't even, like the 1 hour show is not enough. I cannot wait for part 2 and part 3. Like I think this is gonna be maybe even better or on par with seasons of Housewives, Scary Island.
Yeah.
Or
This one was pretty epic.
St. Bart's with Aviva. You two are white fresh,
Yeah.
quite frankly. I can't believe how far Sonia and Ramona have come. Like, they are
Yeah.
not friends.
I know.
And they are, like, digging at each other. It's because Sonia got clear
Yeah.
and realized.
But wait, and final thing on New York, do you think they should allow Luann to come back? I think the show's bad for her, right?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Well, here's the thing. They haven't started talking about Cartagena yet, and all the girls were so mean to Luann when she was really on a good and righteous path. And now that she's back
So
in
mean.
rehab, like they're justified in being mean to her.
But even the first day back from rehab when they were all drinking wine around her, like,
I couldn't agree more. Like, and
how do you like really heal when you're just being put in the same situations that drive you crazy?
That's a
And this
good
show
point.
does drive people
I never
crazy. It
thought
drives you to drink.
I never thought it, but she's such like a hot topic now. I don't think they would let her go, like from a TV ratings standpoint.
Yeah.
That's such a good
I
question.
know, but ethics. Let's put ratings
Ethics.
aside. Ethics,
That's why they fired Phaedra ethics, because she did something so horrible that like, what did she do again? She accused Candy of like trying to rape her. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't follow
Yeah, like.
Atlanta to a T, but then when all that happened, I like had to catch up.
Yeah.
But she basically accused her of trying to date rape.
Yeah, like there was
Portia.
Portia, that she had told her she would date rape Portia or something like. It was like.
It was bad.
It was not good.
That's not good. I mean, that's I think worse than all of this. But like, I feel like Andy really only intervenes in reunions when things are so like ethically wrong and like morally corrupt. Faye
Yeah.
Resnick, and that's what I feel like happened last night. Because like
Yeah.
it's so not right what's happening.
Because the thing is, the show is like Ramona is like 63. Like
Ramona's the oldest housewife.
yeah, Ramona's not the future of the show.
No.
Like there's very few. I mean, not to be ageist and sexist and
Right.
everything, but like just looking at show business, Ramona's not going to anchor this show into the next 5 years.
And she's not that. It used to be like cute and funny, like the singer Stinger, like Ramona Coaster, but her shtick is getting old really fast.
And it's all very contrived. Like even her like delivery and when she waddles away, like you are not. I
wow,
can't.
wow. That was
It's
the
like,
best. Oh my God. I literally, like, that is my go-to. Like, wow. That's the best. And you know what? I have trouble, like, separating reality from reality TV. Because, like, when you live in New York and you have a lot of Instagram followers, like, you meet housewives,
Yeah.
like, and like I have had lunch with Carol and like we used to be like pretty good friends and like I went to her holiday party and like I really liked her as a person and I still really do. And it's like awkward because I'm like, I know Carol and then I know Carol on the show.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're two different people. Because Carol can hang. Like, she's cool,
Yeah.
have a glass of wine.
The show does make you crazy.
But Carol on the show, I'm like not here for. So like, how do you exist in this in-between?
It's like work, though. The thing is, these people are not really friends.
No. And that's why every time they start the new season, they're like, how was your summer? Because they don't fucking hang out.
Yeah,
But I really want...
Except this whole Greek moment with Ramona and Kelly
and
Dodd and Vicky Gunvalson.
They're
now.
all in Europe together. They
Oh
ran
my
into
God.
each other. That honestly, Vicky Gunvalson, Kelly Dodd, and Ramona Singer is the scariest thing of all time.
I mean, I'm a Vicky.
Yeah, you're a Vicky apologist.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
she's
kind of
nuts.
over her, but I know you like her.
She's nuts.
Whatever. Okay, now we're going to
do like
take
Vicky.
some TPG-related questions. I sourced them from Facebook, but if you're watching, I also have the YouTube stream up here, so feel free to drop a comment about points, about credit cards, about anything, about career, about whatever, I don't know. We got really specific questions, and I'm going to start reading them. Just you rattle them off.
Okay.
This is from Christy Span. Just start off. How did you fall into this career?
So
And can you add the taking chances part, because that's my favorite part of the story.
Okay, Celine Dion is a part of this story. So I got into, should I look to camera or look to you?
A little bit of both. This
A little
is
bit of both?
It's storytelling.
What's her name?
What's my name?
Or no, Christine.
Oh, Christy.
Christy. So very long story short, like I've always been like a computer geek dork. Like when I was 12, I was a computer whiz in my house. My dad traveled a lot for work. One day he's like, we have all these freaking flyer miles. And I figured out a way to use them, so we went on vacation to the Cayman Islands, like my family of 6 for free. It was crazy. We're like, so my dad traveled a lot, like would miss my basketball games. It was sad.
Of course you played basketball.
And then in college, I became student body president and and studied abroad. So all of a sudden, I traveled a bunch and I got elite status. And I Googled.
On what airline?
U.S. Airways.
Okay, back in the day.
R.I.P. So I Googled and then discovered that there's this whole community of people, like this subgroup of weird people that like maximize freaking flyer miles. So I got into that. It was 2004. And then started working on Wall Street, traveled a lot for work. I made no money because I was in HR during the recession. But all of a sudden, I had like millions of points,
That
and
you weren't
I
paying
literally
for.
was like $2,000 in credit card debt, but I was able to fly first class everywhere. So like all my
That's
friends
so
were like,
crazy.
"You want a trust fund? Yada yada yada." Start a blog in 2010 from my cubicle. I'm just like doing one blog post a day, travel. This is what I love. People start reading it, and then the credit card companies in 2011 were like, my friend worked for like an advertising agency and was like, they know about your site and they love what you're writing. and you're sending people to Amex.com, and we'll pay you to do that. So I was like, what?
Right.
And literally within a month, then the New York Times heard about me, and I interviewed. So I learned how to do press to drive traffic, and so it was like this perfect storm in April of 2011, and the money started to really come in. But everyone was like, you can't leave Morgan Stanley. You're going to be a VP. You're 27 years old. Everyone's like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And then so I was listening to Celine Dion. So I'm a huge Celine Dion fan.
Same.
It's called Taking Chances on my way to
best
work. And it's about jumping off a ledge, not knowing what's below.
Taking a chance.
Taking chances. Watch the video on YouTube, which we do around midnight every time we hang out.
Or listen to the Glee version. It's really good too.
Taking chances. So anyway, quit my job. And then it's just been, since 2011, adding employees. I sold the company, it got sold again, and we're now
How many people work for now?
We're like around 50 full time.
Wow.
In a couple different offices, and then we have even more contributors who write for the site. So it's really, really fun.
So cool and so impressive. And I'm endlessly impressed by just like you and your business, because I went to a talk you did in Montauk at the Surf Lodge, and it was just like a general like Q&A talking about like
with
the
Rosario
business.
Dawson.
Rosario Dawson showed up. That was so cool.
She said it was her favorite talk of the summer.
She's so beautiful. And I was just like so impressed, because like I'm just like learning new things about your business all the time, and you were just like so funny and charismatic about like something that could be like relatively boring, like money, ugh. And I just think you're so great, and I just want everyone to know like the TPG that I know. This is from Britt Lopez. I've only started using a credit card a year ago. Do you think I'll be approved for the Chase Sapphire?
Yes. So that's a great question, Britt.
Britt, yes.
Britt. So a lot of people, as long as you don't have anything negative, as long as you don't miss a payment, as long as you haven't, skipped out on a bill, which I did once in college, and it haunted me for like 8 years.
Oh my God, really?
So check your credit score. It's free to do. There's tons of free sites that'll. FICO is the score you want to check, though.
Okay.
A lot of credit cards give it to you for free. If you Google how to get a free FICO score, our post will come up. But understand your score, as long as you're like, a lot of people, even if you don't have tons of credit, like even 680 and up will get you most credit cards.
Okay.
People think you need to have this like 800 score and a $200,000. It's pretty easy.
What's your credit?
It's like, so at an 850, I'm like 780. I mean, it fluctuates because I put so much spend every month and it goes up and down. But as long as you're over 700, you can pretty much get any credit card.
Okay.
But for beginner cards, you can get, like the Chase Freedom card is one of the kind of no annual fee beginner cards. The cool thing about that is or Freedom Unlimited is probably the better one, but once you get in with Chase, they have all the best cards. So build a relationship off with like a Freedom, and then if you do get a Sapphire, once you build up your relationship with them, you can actually take your Freedom points, which are supposed to be cash back, but if you get a Sapphire Preferred, you can then transfer those cash back points into your Sapphire account and then use them for more value or transfer them. So yeah.
But you know what is interesting the last time you were here that I think is important is you will not, like, you don't do like sponsorships in the sense like you won't promote a credit card because someone's paying you to promote it ever.
We only
or
will
like
ever
a hotel.
Yes. So our business model, so we make all of our money pretty much, so if you get a credit card through thepointsguy.com, ding, so we get a commission, right? And then so that's how I use to pay my writers and everything.
Right.
But we only promote the best offer on the market, and there are a lot of bad credit cards out there.
Yeah.
We won't touch it. So on our top deals, like it's only products that we promote.
Believe in.
The thing is, there's no one best product for everyone. Like it depends on whether you want to fly first class. Do you just want cash back? Look at your life and what you want to do. A lot of times, especially if you're a young millennial in the city, like getting a couple $100 cash back like makes the difference. I don't care about Mykonos. That'll be next year when I get. So whether you want cash back. But there's a bunch of cards out there, that have no annual fee. There's this Wells Fargo Propel card, no annual fee.
And we'll link all this for you guys.
$300 in free. You get $300 in cash back just for getting it, and then you get triple points on, dining, gas, groceries, and even streaming services like Netflix. That was the first ever card that does on all the streaming platforms.
What was it called? Wells Fargo?
Propel.
All right, good to know. A lot of people asked if you think it's better, like there's a myth, should you pay your credit card balance in full?
100%. In full, early.
Oh, really?
1,000%. If you're paying APR interest, you're going to be losing all the point value that you get. So 100%.
If you can.
Pay your bill, if you can, on time, in full, and even if you can before, just to pay it off, because you still get the points even if you pay it off early. So 100,000%. Do not get in credit card debt. If you're in credit card debt, don't worry about points. Just put a laser-focused plan to get the credit card debt down. Because it's like quicksand. I mean, I was in credit card debt out of college. I moved to New York. I was, didn't realize the concept of like one paycheck going to rent
Right.
and one, so it's sad because I had to learn budgeting the hard way.
Right.
They should really teach it in school.
Totally.
But
you're a big fan of like not really investing in like points and redeeming until you're financially set.
Yeah.
Or like you're in a good place.
Yeah. But the thing is, we have a lot of college kids that read this site that, you can get these credit card sign-up bonuses are huge and fly for free. I mean, so your trips can be very, very cheap if you're getting your hotel and flight for free. And
Totally.
so we have a whole budget traveler column now on the site. We just teamed up with a site called Mommy Points, so for young families. There's all different strategies for different types of people.
Right.
It's not just for people like
There's
me who
not
want
one
to fly
formula.
Exactly.
This is from Kelsey Goddard Warden. What's the best airline and hotel to redeem my Chase Sapphire Reserve points at?
In general, Chase points are best redeemed when you transfer to United.
Okay.
Low fees, pretty good rates. And then for hotels, United or Chase to Hyatt.
Chase to Hyatt, okay.
Yeah, so if you transfer to Hyatt, it's like, for example, 25,000 points to stay at the Park Hyatt Maldives, which is like $1,000 a night hotel. So the thing with points is it's all math. So 25,000 points is getting you $1,000 in value. That means each point is worth 4 cents in value.
Okay.
Because 25,000 times 4 is
Yeah.
So that's when you really have to start thinking about math-wise. So think about it. If you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you're earning 3 points per dollar on travel and dining, and each of those points is worth 4 cents when you go to redeem it. And that's pretty high. You're not always going to get that high.
Yeah.
But you can get that high transferring to partners. You're getting like a 12% return on all of your travel and dining. That's an insane rebate,
Yeah.
especially when you think about how much you start spending on Uber and everything.
Right.
So the goal of points is to get credit cards that give you maximum points in all the categories that you spend. So whether it's streaming or Uber, groceries, gas, there are cards out there, and if you Google literally the best credit card for groceries, the points guy, our team constantly analyzes best card for cash
So
back.
it's just like what you spend your money on.
What
that
you
makes
spend
a
your money on
difference.
and where you want to go with those points.
Got it.
Or if you just want cash, and cash back is
King.
King.
Cash is king. Shayna Stillman, what is the best airline-specific credit card? Like, do you recommend like the Delta Amex one?
The way I would say this is each airline has a different program. I think in general, United miles are the most valuable because they allow you to redeem on Star Alliance is the biggest alliance. So when you're thinking about airlines, you should also understand their partners. So, so basically, Delta is a really good airline to fly, but their miles are the least valuable. Because Delta's naughty. So for example, like United, you can redeem 115,000 points to go to Europe, round trip, business class.
Okay.
Delta will be like 200,000 in coach, right? So all of these points you can get deals on Delta, but they're much harder to use.
But that sucks because Delta's my favorite airline.
I know, so this is where you always have to balance out.
Right, collect points everywhere.
Collect points everywhere. So that's why you can fly Delta and enjoy Delta, but have a Chase Sapphire Reserve or Preferred so that you can transfer to United. So if you want to go to Greece on Lufthansa, you have options. The point is you don't want to put all of your miles on American Airlines.
Right. I feel like Delta also has bad partner airlines because anytime I fly something that's not Delta, I always see if I can.
So Delta, I like international first class. Delta bans it. So Air France, Korean, China Eastern, they all have these amazing first class products, but Delta bans it. You can only fly up to business class, and Delta charges more for business class for international awards in general than American does for first class on their partners. So, first class Cathay Pacific is like 220,000 miles to go New York to Hong Kong, round trip. And Delta in business class is like 350, 400. So understand each program has its quirks, but Delta also does have other coach awards, which can make sense. So it's not, I love international first class travel. Delta's not the program for me.
Got it. Well, okay, so
But I'm flying Delta today because it was the best time. And
right. But so for me, who's like, I really travel within the United States, like 90% of the time, especially for the tour. And I have been flying Delta and collecting the points because I'm not paying for the flights.
Yep.
But what do you think is the best, like, inter-American flight? Like, United, Delta, American, like, of just like the ones that we're familiar with.
Look, at the end of the day, all of the carriers are, like when you're flying just like regional, they're all roughly the same. I mean, JetBlue, if you're flying coach, JetBlue is by far, you're going to get free Wi-Fi that's fast. You can watch YouTube. All the others charge for shitty, slow Wi-Fi.
GoGo is my enemy.
Nemesis, horrible.
They suck.
gouging, bad.
And it's so expensive,
It's like 40,
$39.95.
$40 for dial-up speed internet.
Yeah.
Whereas on JetBlue, you may pay a little bit more, but I'm 6'7". I flew coach last week on JetBlue.
You sit in the exit row?
I sit in an exit row, and I'm a diva, and I buy a seat next to me, so I don't have to sit in anyone. But that is cheaper than flying first class,
Right.
and I have more space.
Interesting.
So, and JetBlue Mint, if you fly across the country, it's the best business class. They actually
I've
have
flown Mint.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Did you get the suite where you can close the door?
So it's like 2, 1,
One,
2,
two,
1.
one.
But it was my first time flying Mint, so I didn't know I had to get the 1, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like sleeping so close to this guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. No, I'm kidding.
But the food's delicious.
Yeah, it's
JetBlue's,
lovely.
but it's, they don't fly everywhere, so I think in general, all the U.S. carriers are roughly the same, but
Yeah.
JetBlue's a step
JetBlue's,
higher.
like, small, though.
Southwest, though, is like low, nitty gritty, but they're on time,
Mm-hmm.
they're easy program.
What is the most delayed airline that you've experienced?
It's funny enough, I think JetBlue has had some pretty big issues. Out of New York, everyone's delayed because our air traffic
It's
is
so
horrible.
bad.
So, a rain cloud comes in and everything gets in disarray.
Mm-hmm.
I think Delta's, I think, the best performance-wise. Delta, United, American, JetBlue would probably be.
Oh, interesting. So Danielle Cat wants to know, how many credit cards do you have?
It's funny. I think I have 25 credit cards. It's
Can I
an
have
interesting
one?
perk working at the Points Guy. It's a benefit I've had for years is all of your annual fees get paid for. So everyone in my office has a platinum card because the $550 we pay for.
Rich.
So we are hiring at the Points Guy always.
That was
So
my next question.
I saw that
from-
actually. I was creeping on the comments.
Hold on. Abigail Pugh? Do you need to hire an assistant? She wants to work for you, but what are you hiring
So
for?
my assistant is a job that I used to burn through an assistant like every other day. My schedule is insane.
You seem
The
fun.
logistics. So my assistant I've had for years, and he's not even an assistant. He's my chief of staff.
Okay.
And then he has an assistant.
Oh, rich.
Some extremely.
So, but what are you
important.
hiring for?
So we're always hiring for writers, social media. We're hiring right now for a social media editor. I need someone with several years of social media experience. I would love platform experts like Instagram. We need to launch more on Pinterest. Snapchat we've given up on.
As
So
you
if you're
should,
working
so
at
have
an
I.
agency, Snapchat, they tell me, are coming up with better advertiser tools. LinkedIn, like if you've ever built a brand on LinkedIn, that's very valuable to me.
Okay.
We're always looking for writers.
We'll post the link. In New
Business
York?
analysts, and generally all in New York, yeah.
Okay, got it. Heidi Thatcher Rafter. What would you do with 300,000 Amex points?
300,000 Amex points. So Amex points in general are not good for transferring to hotels, so transfer them to airlines.
Okay.
I would transfer Amex, and once again, if you Google the best ways to use Amex points, there'll be like 20 different options depending on what you want.
And thepointsguy.com is the first.
Yeah, of course. I love flying Lufthansa first class, and if you transfer 90,000 to Aeroplan, which is Air Canada's program, you can fly Lufthansa first class to Europe, and it's amazing, caviar, the whole nine. So
Well, so that is the number one thing I learned from you, is that, like, let's say you want to take a first class flight somewhere, and I forget what the airline is, and it's like $5,000. Or no, sorry, it was 10, I don't remember. But you said to buy the miles on Alaska Airline and then transfer those to the airline you're trying to fly.
Yeah, so buying miles can make a lot of sense. So Alaska
That was
Airlines,
my
right
next
now,
question.
right now Alaska Airlines is selling miles. Let's just say they're 2 cents a piece to buy. So Alaska will allow you to fly New York to Hong Kong on their partner Cathay for 50,000 miles. It's crazy. It's one way, business class, 50,000 miles. So if you buy Alaska miles at 2 cents a piece, you can redeem on Cathay 50,000. That's $1,000 to
Okay.
fly New York to Hong Kong, 15 hours in business class. It's like a $10,000 ticket.
That is so crazy.
So there can come a point, but of course you got to know the rules. Cathay flights don't show on Alaska, so you have to call to book. So there is a little bit of research you have to do. So I don't recommend buying miles speculatively and then hoping to use them. Make sure there's availability, but there's ways that you can buy miles and then pay like less than what coach would cost.
That is so crazy.
We actually have a post yesterday, or actually a British Airways coach review, and one of our writers, you can use British Airways miles, which Amex transferred to British. Even flying coach, it was like $350 versus $1,000.
Right.
They were charging $1,800 one way last minute. So even if you fly coach, miles can save you tons of money.
Well, so that was a question from Lauren McHugh. Does it make sense to buy extra airline miles for every airline?
Yeah, so in general, don't buy extra miles. When you're at the kiosk checking in, they give you horrible rates. Always check the points guide. Like if there's a deal, like all the airlines run deals throughout the year, like 50% bonus.
Oh, like a sale on
There's
points?
always sales on points, so never buy at full price. So, and you can Google like if United Miles sale, you'll see like the last one or if there's a current one on our
Right.
site.
And how long do they usually last for?
They usually for a month or so, but the airlines always go back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who knew? Are there any airlines, this is from Lucy Danks, any airlines you would never fly?
Lucy, I would never fly. No, I mean, I'll fly whatever gets me somewhere. I fly Ryanair within Europe because a lot of times they fly random little flights. And honestly, an exit row in economy, that's the thing. Flying the cheap carriers like Spirit, everyone's like, the worst, they charge. They're so cheap though. So if you just pay the $30 for priority boarding and the best seat on the plane, just don't buy the cheapest ticket on a ratchet
shitty
carrier
flight,
and then
yeah.
expect the world. Like,
That's so
buy
true.
the cheap ticket, cough up a couple bucks, and
For
then
the fees.
the thing is, they treat you like a king. Like Ryanair, if you try to board that plane and you didn't pay the £4 to do it, they will like club you like Nancy Kerrigan. Like, so like no one ever buys it. So like if you spend the $10,
Right.
you're a king. So. I wouldn't fly carriers like Cubana, the airline that just crashed in Cuba, like the really bad
Definitely.
safety ones.
Definitely.
But
This is from Ali Mohajir, who is one of my favorite toasters. Where do you consider home? I see you're always flying everywhere, and I see your beautiful houses. Where do you feel most at home?
well, New York is our office. I have lived in Miami for a while, for the last several years, splitting my time. I think I still love Miami, but like New York is becoming more and more. That's where all my office is,
Right.
and I'm here more. And
It's close to your family.
in the Hamptons. But my family's I grew up in Doylestown, Bucks County, so I have a house in
Pennsylvania.
New Hope, which is beautiful. If any of my Bucks County toasters out there.
They exist. Kendall Isel, what's the worst hotel you've stayed at? Like your grossest story or the worst flight experience you've had?
So the craziest hotel I had the penthouse booked at the Renaissance Philly Airport. I took my nieces and nephews to a Phillies game or Eagles game. I had to go 5 a.m. flight, so I went to the Renaissance. Like there was a convention in town and everything was sold out. And if hotels will give you a room away if you come in late. So after the Eagles game, it was,
They do?
Yeah, crazy. So
like a restaurant.
Oh yeah. So if you're gonna like check in at midnight, always, and you know the city's sold out, always call. I even called ahead and told them I was going to be in at midnight. They still gave my room away. I did a Facebook Live in the lobby that went viral, and then Marriott people were freaking out. I pay for all my own travel.
Right.
So back to that. So I pay for all of our own travel. I never let hotels know when I'm coming. I don't want special treatment.
Good. You
when
want,
I
like, the
fly,
full
I want to
experience.
experience what my readers would experience. That's
Totally.
getting harder these days, so that's why I don't do tons of reviews. But anyway, so they ended up giving me a room that someone had slept in, and I go in and it was dirty, and there was like hair weave on the floor. I mean, it made for an amazing Facebook Live.
Of course.
you can
That's disgusting.
Google like the Point Sky Facebook Live, Renaissance Philly Airport.
What is the most expensive ticket seat you've sat in?
So I bought Etihad, which is one of the amazing Middle Eastern carriers based out of Abu Dhabi. They have what's called the residence. And so I was the first passenger.
That sounds so
So you get your own bedroom on a plane. Not only do you get your own bedroom with double bed, fancy linens, you get your own shower and bathroom. Your own. No one else can touch it.
But you can't fit in an average shower.
And on the planes, the A380s actually have really big ceilings. It doesn't pass the TPG shower test, but it's
Right.
like close enough. And
Okay.
you're in a shower at 39,000 feet.
You can't complain.
So you get your own bedroom, shower, your own butler, and your own living room, and a door that closes.
And
It's $33,000 one way.
dollars.
And if you Google the Point Sky Etihad residence, there's a YouTube. I had a camera crew along with me.
Of course.
Caviar.
What does the plane look like? Is there coach in that plane too?
I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Yes. So there's a residence, first class, business class, and coach.
How
and
many
it's a double
residents are
decker.
there?
There's one per plane.
Oh, just one?
Yeah. So it's like they've lowered the price. It's now, and it's for two people. So it's like $30,000 New York, maybe 25. Certain
Like
routes
only
you can get it cheaper.
princes.
Well, princes have their own like tricked out private planes.
Oh, right.
But
Like the low-level princes.
Points princes.
Yeah. Oh,
Points
my God,
princesses.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How many airplanes have you been on that have showers in them?
So really, only Etihad and Emirates are really the only ones with showers, unfortunately. So I try to fly them whenever. Taking a shower after like 5 glasses of Dom,
It's hard.
it's so fun. Like I put my music on.
Oh my
and
God.
on Emirates, the floors are heated. It's a huge bathroom. You can sit down and do your makeup. Although one time I was in the shower, like fully naked, and like the turbulence started going. The captain goes, "Please return to your seat right now." So I like for a split second, I was like, "Do I just put my towel around me and go
Right.
to my seat,
What'd you
or
do?
like?" I always bring shorts and like a Lulu t-shirt with me, so I like threw it on real quick and it was like bumping up and down. They let
my
me take
God.
another shower.
That's nice. Do they limit the time that you can use the
Yeah,
water?
it's like 6 minutes. You can ask for more, but like 6 minutes is like long enough for like a nice like quick little.
Did you hear about the baby fetus that was found in a
Yes.
American Airlines
sad.
toilet?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was a baby fetus in an airline toilet.
But like,
whatever.
who left it there?
I don't even want to know.
No, that's like really scary.
I
feel
know.
like we heard the story.
We actually wrote that story, and I saw it on I have a screen that shows all of our top stories, and I was like, I care not to. I don't know the details. I didn't read that one.
That's so disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And really sad.
Sad.
So leave us with a final thought. When it comes to using points, when it comes to, spending the least on travel, what is your number one sage advice?
So I would say, get a bunch of points, get points in different programs. Actually, my number one tip would be set a goal, right? This all becomes so confusing. I know a lot of people right now will be like, oh my God, it's so confusing. What do I like? Set a goal. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go here. And then work back from there. Look at, and so I'll leave this fall, we're launching the TPG app, which is going to allow you to track your points, set a goal, and then use your points
so
all
helpful.
in one, as well as tell you the credit card you should be using, et cetera. It's a lot right now of manual labor, but I'll leave with points are a currency. Unlike Bitcoin that goes up and down like crazy every day, points are a currency that the more you mine your own knowledge, the more blog posts you read of ours, the more valuable they come.
Right.
So, and it's insane. There's no other country in the world, there are 50,000, 60,000, 100,000 point sign-up bonuses. The banks will give you literally $1,000 for getting a credit card. So it's insane.
Yeah.
And it's not too good to be true. As long as your credit's good and you pay them off on time, 1 or 2 credit cards a year, you could be going on a free trip every year. So not just get the sign-up bonus, but look at every single dollar you spend. Get a credit card that's going to give you a bonus for that.
What's the best sign-up bonus out there?
There's several. I mean, it depends. There's some airline cards. There's a bunch that offer 100,000 points.
Oh, wow.
Google the points guy, 100,000 point credit card signups. But my biggest tip is, so I'm the points guy, but you can follow me on Instagram at Brian Kelly.
K-E-L. There's 3 famous Brian Kellys.
BRIANKELLY.
The one half of Florida Georgia Line is named Brian Kelly, and he wrote the song written by sang by Mason Ramsey. There's a very popular football coach. Is that what he is?
Notre Dame, yeah.
Notre Dame. And then there's TBG. It's hard competing for those Google search results.
But
So make sure to follow at The Points Guy on Instagram and Brian Kelly on Instagram. Premium content delivered on both. Thank you for being here, sharing your tips and
sorry
tips.
I was late. I actually was having a fashion emergency. I have this baby blue suit, so I was going to wear baby blue for Brew.
Oh,
But we didn't even
yes.
get a chance to talk about
fuck.
Dallas.
Well, then you'll have to just come out.
Leanne Lockins weave, the red
That was
weave.
fucking terrible. Oh my God.
Need
With
it.
The crimp.
Need
It
it.
was so terrible. We'll, you know what? We will discuss at another time. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to link a bunch of what Brian said in case you're confused like me, just to help, clear some of the air. But thank you guys for listening. Reminder, there is no show tomorrow because I'm going to be tired. And that's it. Thanks for tuning into The Morning Toast. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to us, YouTube, Facebook, and in the podcast app. We will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Safe travels.
Safe travels.